All right, Israel, let's stand and face Jerusalem.
Men of Israel, blow trumpet.
O thou that sittest in the heavens and reigneth over all flesh, to whom belongeth all glory, dominion, power, and the kingdom forever. Hearken and hear the prayer and supplication of thy servants. For in the name of thy Son, our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, we come before thee. And we ask that you encamp thy holy angels around and protect all the elders, soldiers, captains, men that are overseas teaching thy word, reaching thy people, O Lord, bringing it to countries in which they have bad internet access so that they can see us face to face, O Lord, and see that we are about reaching the people. Have mercy upon us. Forgive us of our shortcomings and trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Have mercy upon the women with children. Have mercy upon those who are sick. Heal them quickly and speedily, that the children grow up strong as well. Make more laborers come into thy vineyard, O Father, that they may help with the labor. In the name of thy Son, we ask and we beg of thee for wisdom and understanding, that we may learn to walk in this world and not abuse it, but to show forth thy wisdom and understanding to the nations. In the name of thy Son, we ask and we beg of thee, O Lord. Amen. Yeah, be seated, man. It's 9 a.m. I just woke up. Can we dim these lights? Please, sir. I'm supposed to have a tan in the winter. Thank you. All right, today's topic is manliness. Manliness. Just manliness. That's it. All right. Let's get started. Let's get Exodus chapter 15, verse 3.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 15 and verse 3. Exodus 15, verse 3. The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name.
The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. This scripture is so useful for so many different things. You ever heard people running around saying that God is a woman? That thing is becoming mad popular now. I'm hearing that all over the place. Even in music. I'm listening to a song the other day. I'm like, yeah. You know, I spoke to God yesterday. She said, I was like, what? What's going on over here? The scriptures clearly say, the Lord is a man of war. What does that mean? A man of war. What does that mean? The Lord is a man of war. Oh, I don't got no hands anyway. I should pick on somebody. Hold on, let me see. You right here, young man with the fro. Yes. How you doing? Stand up for me.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Eliezer. Meaning that Lord is a man of war. Doesn't mean he bring war against like other nations.
It's good. Yeah, he does bring war against other nations. But what? Give me the mean. He's a man of war. Come on now. Right here, stand up. Yeah, you. In front of you.
Lord is a man of war. I mean, he's a killer.
Give it to the man in front of you. Thank you. That's good.
Shalom,
Shalom.
Brother Darak. First is saying that the Lord is a man. That's
Right.
describing him. He's male, and he's a man of war because when you're in the righteous, when you're following the law, statutes, and commandments, he fights your battles for you. Especially, and when you read the Exodus, right here, this is where Pharaoh was chasing us, and the Most High basically took him down.
Right.
For us.
Right. So I'm doing the Deacon Yals up on you. If y'all ain't saying it how I have it in my head, I don't like it. But it's good. That's good. The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. How many of y'all in here like boxing? Raise your hand. Uh-huh. Okay. How many of y'all like MMA? How many of y'all like physical tackle football? Oh, okay. Not that you watch it, but when you was in the world or sometimes in your spare time, you watch that thing. You're like, damn, you saw that jab? He caught him. Right? The Most High likes war. Just how like we men like to see who's faster, who's stronger. Where do you think we get that from? Let me get from there Genesis 14:14.
The book of Genesis, chapter 14 and verse 14. And when Abraham heard that his brother was taken captive, he armed his trained servants.
Stop. Who's Abraham's brother? You can call it out. Nah, y'all read ahead, didn't y'all? This is Genesis 14. I guarantee most of y'all ain't ever read this chapter yet on your own. But okay. 14:14. It's Lot. Lot was taken captive. Go ahead.
And when Abraham heard that his brother was taken captive, he armed his trained servants.
His what now?
Armed his trained servants.
Trained servants. Trained. So Abraham had trained servants. What does that even mean? Okay.
Born in his own house.
Born where?
Born in his own house.
Who's training them? Abraham was training them. Training them in what? Artistry? How to be orators? No. Abraham was training them in war. Read on.
318.
When you read this history, he goes up against nations. Nation. Not one like, oh, these people took my brother. No. Nations. He goes up against nations. Him and his 300 armed men. Some other people was helping that. But the point is, Abraham, okay, to whom was made the promises, was a warrior. He liked war. He was like, oh, all these men are under me. Y'all gotta learn how to handle this sword or this staff or whatever the case may be. This javelin. He trained them in his house. I'm gonna take you through a little journey, through some history, so y'all can see. For those of you who haven't read, y'all gonna notice some things, and for those of you who have, might notice some more things. From there, let me get Exodus 6 and verse 26.
The book of Exodus, chapter 6 and verse 26. These are that Aaron and Moses, to whom the Lord said, bring out the children of Israel.
Stop. So the Lord was talking to Aaron and Moses. He said, bring out the children of Israel. Read on.
From the land of Egypt, according to their armies.
According to their what?
To their armies.
What does that mean? Mike, yeah, stand up. Leave it on, guys, okay?
Yeah, there was different sections of or different divisions of armed men with, I guess, different skills.
Oh, you're asking me a question. Oh, I'm the one asking the question.
All right, can you repeat it?
Go ahead, read it again.
These are that Aaron and Moses, to whom the Lord said, bring out the children of Israel from the land of Egypt, according to their armies.
According to their armies. What's that talking about?
There were different armies in Egypt at that time of Israel, different sections of men.
So some people weren't a part of the army. Is that what you're saying?
There was, different divisions, like different ranks of people with different skills.
Nah, bro. Thanks. Behind you right here. Yeah, you stand up. Leave it on yet. Just leave the mic on.
Shalom,
Shalom.
Brother Zion. He was pretty much saying, bring out the children of Israel according to their armies, maybe perhaps by number as well as their trained skill in warfare.
Perhaps. Maybe perhaps. Nah, man.
I mean, according to their numbers and also their skill.
It says their armies. What is he talking about? What is he saying? Bring out the children of Israel according to their armies. Pass it in the back. Doesn't matter. Thank you, bro.
Shalom leadership.
Shalom.
According to their armies, meaning their household, just like Abraham's household had his own army of 316.
All right. Yes, please save us.
Right. Shalom. According to the armies means you had some men which were good at sword fighting. You had some which were good at bow and arrow.
All right. Thank you. Anybody here seen 300? Everybody's hand show. Who has not seen 300? Please raise your hand. Shame on you. Y'all all seen 300, right? All right. Y'all ever seen a part where the other people come to help them and they're like, oh, what is your profession? I'm a potter, sir. What is your profession? I'm a farmer. He's like, what? Y'all need to go, please. Thank you. And like, Spartans, what is your profession? In unison, all together. Like the entire nation was just killers. It's just like, that's, where do you think they get that from? First of all, did y'all not know that the Spartans was Israelites? Northern Kingdom. Okay. What? What's right? Oh, excuse me. I'm just saying. Y'all know the Spartans. They was gangster, right? Where did they get it from, though? Did the Spartans just separated themselves and became this crazy nation on their own? Nah. Where did they get the ideals from? It comes from the Bible. It comes from Genesis. It comes from Exodus. It says their armies because every man was a part of the army. There was no, I'm just going to be a potter. No, there's war over here. No, I need clay for my, no. Get your ass over here, man. You're going to war with us. You understand what I'm saying? Israel, all 12 tribes were part of the army. Question in the back.
Officer, if you're in the army, when you join the army, everybody got to learn how to shoot, how to kill, how to use a rifle.
Exactly.
But then they categorize you what you're good at.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we all part of the army. So Israel everybody in Israel was a warrior.
Right. Everybody in Israel was a warrior. I'm gonna show you. Let me get from there. Numbers 1 and verse 2.
The book of Numbers, chapter 1 and verse 2. Take ye the sum of all the congregation of the children of Israel, after their families, by the house of their fathers, with the number of their names, every male by their polls, from 20 years old and upward, all that are able to go forth to war in Israel.
All that are, what?
All that are able to go forth to war in Israel. Thou and Aaron shall number them by their armies.
How old? 20-year-old and upwards. Did it make a distinction? It said only these tribes and only... Look, Levites, the only ones of the Levites that wasn't a part of the army were the priests. It wasn't all Levites that were priests. FYI. You understand that, right? Okay. But it says, from 20-year-olds and upwards, all that were able to go forth to war in Israel. From 20 years old. There wasn't no, you know how they do in the Israeli imposters do now, right? Every man got to go into the army. Man, woman, everybody. As soon as they hit a certain age, they got to enlist for at least 2 years, I think it is. Did y'all know that? Where they get that from? Not the women part, but the men. From 20 years old, y'all had to learn war. Y'all had to be able to go to war. If you was called upon, that's it. Oh, we need this tribe over here. This section There's a war starting right here. You imagine, right? You know how America has bases all over the place, right? All over the country and all kinds of stuff. It's not everywhere. It's not really everywhere. You understand what I'm saying? Like you have small little bases here and there, but if something were to pop off in the east, they'd have to regroup, take the East Coast, take Boston, take all these, bring them together, then start thinking about how to counterattack and all that, or how to protect. When war popped off against Israel, the dudes in that city that it started in was like, all right, cool, we're at war. Like, oh, call the army. No, we are the army. You understand what I'm saying? The dude's right there farming. Oh yeah? The nations is coming? They ain't had to 911. Yes, there's people coming. We need help. We need assistance. No. They themselves know how to get down. You understand what I'm saying? It shows there's a piece of history that where they're rebuilding the walls. And it says the nations came against us. And the people were building the walls. Anybody know what I'm talking about? It was either Nehemiah or Ezra. They were rebuilding the wall, right, which was destroyed after Babylon. And the people are building, and the nations are coming against us. And in one hand, they got the brick and the mortar, and in the other hand, they got what? They had a sword in the other hand. Man, you gotta Google search that. Be here forever. Nehemiah. Let's get that. Thank you, sir. Nehemiah 4. Let's read that. Nehemiah 4 and 17.
The book of Nehemiah, chapter 4 and verse 17. They which builded on the wall, and they that bear burdens with those that laid it, every one with one of his hand brought in the work, and with the other hand held a weapon.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, Israel wasn't, I'm just a painter. I paint things. I'm a contractor. You call me, anybody need painting? You call me, I'm just going to paint. No. My man knew how to, first thing they learned was how to kill, and then the second thing was how to paint, or how to farm, or how to pottery. You understand what I'm saying? It's not, it's easy for people to read past that and not notice that because there's no emphasis on it, right? The scriptures, you don't sit there and go, listen, and every man up until his 20s was trained in sword fighting and all that. No. But it's there. Context clues, right? Reading between the lines. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's all throughout the scriptures. It really is. If you're reading to pay attention and to really understand what's being said, we were a nation from the beginning, a nation of warriors. Verse 18, give me 18. Go ahead.
Verse 18. For the builders, every one had his sword girded by his side, and so builded. And he that sounded the trumpet was by me.
You understand? Dudes is building a wall, armed. Like, all right, if anything pop off, we ready. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all getting the picture? All right, where were we? Numbers, right? From there, let me get Judges chapter 3, verse 1.
The book of Judges, chapter 3 and verse 1. Now these are the nations which the Lord left to prove Israel by them, even as many of Israel as had not known all the wars of Canaan, only that the generations of the children of Israel might know to teach them war, at the least such as before knew nothing thereof.
Stop. Read this second verse again.
Verse 2. Only that the generations of the children of Israel might know to teach them war, at the least such as before knew nothing thereof.
So you see, there is one mention of it right here. It says that the Most High left the nations around us for what? Exactly. You won't get too comfortable. So you won't get too comfortable in peace. Oh, there's nothing going on. We don't need to learn war anymore. Nah. Israel was always surrounded by nations who hated them for that purpose. Because the Lord is a man of war. He likes that. Every couple of years, everything's perfectly fine. The Moabites came and it was war. Like, why? You understand what I'm saying? Most I was like, go. I want to see somebody get their head flown. Yeah, you seen that? Seen that? That's all over the place. Love it. Read verse 2 again.
Verse 2. Only that the generations of the children of Israel might know, to teach them war, at the least such as before knew nothing thereof.
At the least, the such that knew nothing thereof, right? So that's why the Most High left the nations around Israel after the battles, so that we could teach our children war. Wouldn't get too comfortable. Now, let's see the posture of the ancient man. Let's get 1 Samuel 16 and verse 4.
The book of 1 Samuel, chapter 16 and verse 4. And Samuel did that which the Lord spake, and came to Bethlehem.
The Most High sent Samuel to anoint a new king. All right, besides Saul. That's what's going on over here. Saul was a king. Most High was mad at him for doing some stuff he wasn't supposed to. So he sent Saul to anoint a new king from the house of Jesse. Okay, which would be David. You know.
And the elders of the town trembled at his coming.
They did what now?
Trembled at his coming.
Hold on. I want to see. I want to make sure that people understand what we're reading over here. Young man right here. Yeah, you stand up for me. Yeah. Yes. What does that mean? The elders of the town trembled at his coming.
I didn't get a chance to open it. I'm still writing notes from.
Still okay. All right. Yeah. Man next to you, was you listening? Yeah. Answer the question.
Shalom.
Shalom.
I think that means it means that during that time Samuel was judging the people. So when he came there, they was a little nervous because normally he was giving judgment at that time before Saul came.
Right. Exactly. You know what I forgot to get? Read that again. Read it slowly. Let me find it.
And Samuel did that which the Lord spake, and came to Bethlehem. And the elders of the town trembled at his coming, and said, Comest thou peaceably?
Comest thou peaceably. What does that mean? Comest thou peaceably. The brother just gave it. I think it's in Nehemiah. Yeah, thanks. All right, so it says, the elders of the town trembled at his coming and said, Comest thou peaceably. Yes, it was because, he was casting out the judgment of the Most High and all that. He was, you should die in 3 days or whatever the case may be, or, you know what I'm saying, handing out judgments like that. But there's also another piece of history y'all need to understand real quick. You found it? All right, let me get that.
Nehemiah 13, we'll start verse 23.
Nehemiah 13.
Nehemiah 13, verse 23. In those days also saw I Jews that had married wives of Ashdod, of Ammon, and of Moab.
Read it again.
In those days also saw I Jews that had married wives of Ashdod, of Ammon, and of Moab. And their children spake half in the speech of Ashdod, and could not speak in the Jews' language, but according to the language of each people. And I contended with them, and cursed them, and smote certain of them, and plucked off their hair, and made them swear by God, saying, Ye shall not give your daughters unto their sons, nor take their daughters unto your sons, or for yourselves.
Stop. See, I see some of y'all smiling. Some of y'all get it. All right. We're awake now. All praises. Let me see here. Let me see your faces, man. Stop hiding. All right, behind you, Thaddeus. That's the mic. Stand up, sir. What do I want out of here? I don't want something specific out of here.
Shalom.
Shalom.
He smoked certain of them.
Right. That's it. Yo, it goes in. He smote certain of them, plucked off their hairs, and made them swear by God, saying, "You shall not give your daughters unto." He said, "Yo, what I say? Say uncle. Say uncle." Y'all remember that? Come on, man. I know y'all older cats remember that. In the front right here. Go ahead.
Shalom, brother. That meant he didn't want them mixing with the other races.
Absolutely,
Other
yeah.
nations.
That's exactly what was going on here. Yeah. That's you was gonna say something else?
No, that's
Okay, yeah. That's the law. We're not supposed to be mixing with them. But the point I wanted there is they didn't just come through like, "You're evil, you must separate from your wife." Okay, thank you, good day. You too, sir. The Most High does not like this. This must end immediately. You understand what I'm saying? Like that. That's how y'all think judgment was going down. You know what I mean? Everything wasn't dead. It was like, yo, what the hell's going on over here? Slapping people? Yo. The prophets was gangster, bro. Pulling their heads. What the hell's going on over here? What I tell you? Huh? You gonna keep these laws or I'm gonna come back here? Oh, snap. That's how the prophets were. You understand what I'm saying? The problem is we've learned Christianity. And in Christianity, what do we see? The most God loves you. Loves everybody. Peace be unto you, my brother. All that emotional, weak stuff, bro. When you read the Old Testament, that's not how it was. Don't think for a second that the prophets is going from town to town going, "And you shall die." Bye. Kill him. No, they was the first ones like, boom. Y'all ain't joining us? We supposed to stone him. You know that, right? Go ahead, right here.
It's like when King Saul left King of Amalek alive. Prophet Samuel came through. It was like, "You off." The Most High said to wipe everybody out, and Samuel just chopped them to pieces. The King of Amalek.
There you go. See, I forgot about that piece of history right there. All praise. Thanks for reminding me, bro. Samuel himself was like, "Yo, to the King of Israel." So what's this going on over here, bro? Oh, nah, I wanted to keep him alive for a little bit. Oh, you want to keep him alive? Hold on. Where you get the sword from? Where they was just laying around? He had it on him. He had the thing on him. Get the strap. Go ahead, let me get that.
Verse 20 of Nehemiah 13, verse 20.
Nehemiah 13, verse 20.
So the merchants and sellers of all kind of where lodged without Jerusalem once or twice. Then I testified against them and said unto them.
Stop. Who understands what's going on over here? Who understands? Raise your hand. Okay, one hand. Stand up, please.
During that time, it was the Sabbath. So basically, Nehemiah went out there and confronted the merchants, and basically he was about to physically remove them from the premises.
Right. All right. So Nehemiah, who's these merchants? Other nations, right? He's telling them, "Yo, y'all gotta get, man. It's a Sabbath." Listen to what he's saying in verse 20. Right. 21.
Then I testified against them and said unto them, Why lodge ye about the wall? If ye do so again, I will lay hands on you.
I will do what?
I will lay hands on you.
Yo, can't no skinny 100-pound dude run around talking like this. You understand what I'm saying? Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Nehemiah was not no punk. He said, listen. I already talked to y'all already. Y'all know how it go down, bro. Y'all that street, y'all know how it go down. Y'all can see this. Exactly. Y'all can see this in the world. When y'all was in the world, y'all saw this kind of speech. Live and direct. Like, I spoke to you already, bro. You know what I mean? Yo, read it again. Read 21.
Then I testified against them and said unto them, Why lodge ye about the wall? If you do so again, I will lay hands on you. From that time forth came they no more on the Sabbath.
What that mean? What that really means, though, they were scared. Hey, come on, bro. You're not gonna be scared of no. You, man, shut the hell up. You understand what I'm saying? The prophets back then, okay, it was no joke. They wasn't running around talking about, if you stay here, the Most High will cast diseases upon you. Please exit the premises. Like, don't make me put my hands on you, bro. You understand what I'm saying? Go back to Samuel 16 and verse 4.
First Samuel 16 and verse 4. And Samuel did that which the Lord spake, and came to Bethlehem, and the elders of the town trembled at his coming.
So it gives new meaning to this tremble that is coming. This is not just, oh, the man of God is coming. It must be. No, it's like, oh, snap, who getting their ass beat today? Or chopped up, because the prophets operated with impunity. You couldn't touch them. You wasn't supposed to. And if you did, you got what was coming to you. You understand what I'm saying? That's how it was. Read on.
And said, comest thou peaceably?
You were scared. Like, oh, snap. Somebody getting their hair pulled, slapped up today. You did something you wasn't supposed to do? Like, I'm getting away from you, bro. Might catch it too being next to you. You understand what I'm saying? All right, from there. Let me get 2 Samuel chapter 10. And verse 17.
Second Samuel chapter 10 and verse 17. And when it was told David, he gathered all Israel together and passed over Jordan and came to Helam. And the Syrians set themselves in array against David and fought with him.
All right. What I want out of that? Let's see who's thinking. Come on. Wake up, wake up.
It's saying that David gathered all of Israel to battle against the Syrians.
Yeah, I mean, yes, all of Israel went to battle against the Assyrians, but that's obvious. We want something that's not obvious, something that's between the lines. Come on, I need y'all to think. Come on now. Read it again, read it again. Read 17 and 18 again.
And when it was told David, he gathered all Israel together and passed over Jordan and came to Helam. And the Syrians set themselves in array against David and fought with him.
All right, right here, that is.
You want the Syrians set themselves?
No. You gonna say the same thing?
Set themselves in array.
No, right behind you. I got it. Oh, okay, perfect. Go ahead, go ahead.
They was charging at David.
Say again?
They was charging at David.
I mean, David was king. They got to get. You know how it is. Hey, when you play chess, you trying to kill every piece on the board. You trying to get the king, right? Go ahead, right here.
As soon as David got the word, he gathered all of Israel together.
You said the same thing. You said the same thing again. No. That's not what I want. Let's watch this real quick. Maybe y'all get the point right here. Blow it up. Put some sound on that thing. Bear with me 1 second. Y'all gonna understand the point. Bear with me 1 second. Pardon the priestly double. Bear with me 1 second. Pardon the priestly double. Bear with me 1 second. Pardon the priestly double. Bear with me 1 second. Yeah. Y'all know what I'm saying, bro. I apologize for putting Caesar Borgia in your face so early in the damn morning. Priestly double. Bear with me. See it? You see it now? The point is it gonna work? All right, play. I don't need sound. Don't worry about it. Walk. Damn, I kind of do. Fuck.
Perhaps we should have our war tomorrow when you're better rested. I should have you whipped for your impudence.
Stop. Pause.
Perhaps you should fight.
Stop. How many of y'all seen this movie? Okay. That was a lot more people than I was expecting. Whoever hasn't seen this movie, go watch it today. All right? This thing is bad as hell. He's in bed. Passed out. There's a whole war going on. They're like, yo, where's Achilles, bro? Yo, bring him. They send somebody to go get him. He comes. He strolls. That's him walking up to the war right now. They've been at war for a minute. For a minute, waiting for him. He shows up. He's like, I should have you whipped. You hear his response? Put it back a little bit. Bring it back a little bit. Play.
Arrested. I should have you whipped for your impudence. Perhaps you should fight him. Achilles.
Pause.
Achilles.
He said, maybe you should fight him. Who's the king here? The old guy with the beard. All right, read on. First play.
Look at the men's faces. You can save hundreds of them. You can end this war with a swing of your sword. Think how many songs they'll sing in your honor. Let them go home to their wives.
That's the guy.
Imagine a king who fights his own battles.
Stop.
Wouldn't that be a sight?
Stop. Pause. Y'all get the point now? Imagine a king that fights his own battles. Read 18 again.
And when it was told David, he gathered all Israel together and passed over Jordan and came to Helam. And the Syrians set themselves in array against David and fought with him.
And fought with him. David was in there. It wasn't like David was like, oh, there's a war going on. Yeah, y'all should probably go handle that because we don't want our people to die and stuff. I'll be right here. You go do that. Like this guy. I should have you whipped for being late. Man, fight your own war then. Kings didn't do that. All right? David was in there like at the front. Like, let's go. You understand what I'm saying? It wasn't I'm just a potter. I'm the king. I do not need to go to war. No. Lord is a man of war. That's why the Most High said about David. He said he's a man after my own heart. This dude is bad. He was a killer. From there, let's get 2 Samuel 21:15. This is one of my favorite parts of that whole movie, man. Alright, y'all can take it off the screen.
Second Samuel 21 and verse 15. Moreover, the Philistines had yet war again with Israel, and David went down, and his servants with him.
Stop. It says David went down, and his servants with him. Go ahead.
And fought against the Philistines, and David waxed faint.
David waxed faint. All right. So he got weak. Go ahead.
And Ishbenabab which was one of the sons of the giant, and the weight of his spear weighed 300 shekels of brass in weight. He being girded with a new sword, thought to have slain David.
Right. So he came to. He was like, "Oh, you lost your strength or whatever." He came on. I'm like, I'm gonna kill David. Read on.
But Abishai, the son of Zeruiah, succored him, and
he helped David. Read on.
And smote the Philistine and killed him. Then the men of David swear unto him, saying, Thou shalt go no more out with us to battle, that thou quench not the light of Israel.
Stop. What's going on here in the front right here?
One, David fell faint. But when you read on, David was of older age.
Right.
And two, the reason the mighty man told him that it was like, you won't go to battle with us, so Israel don't see you in this stage, so you don't quench that fire that you brought on when you go to war.
Exactly. But y'all understand, David was old. He's like, yeah, pass the wine. War? Hold on. Where? You understand what I'm saying? Y'all understand what I'm saying, though. He is the king. You have no need to do these things. It tells you that some of his men were so mighty. Dudes were slaying 300 cats with one spear. Just next. Ah! Just slaying mad heads, bro. Like what? 2 of them held an entire army back. Come. Go ahead, read that.
2 Samuel 23 and verse 8.
2 Samuel 23 and verse 8.
These be the names of the mighty men whom David had. The Techmonite that sat in the seat, chief among the captains, the same was Adino the Eznite. He lift up his spear against 800 whom he slew at one time.
800. Y'all ever been jumped before? You fighting 2-3 dudes. By the time you're done, you're like, whoo! Oh, you think you're gonna die because you can't breathe. Exhaustion. This guy slew 800 men at one time. So not like through his career. It's not like throughout his entire battle time. No. It's like, oh, this entire platoon here, this entire section, I got it. Thank you. Y'all go somewhere else. I got this right. Yo, there's like 900 people. Yo. I didn't ask you. I got this. You understand what I'm saying? All right. Is the picture becoming clear to y'all? It should be by now, right? All right. So from there. Hold on. Lost my place. Verse 20. Yeah, jump to verse 20. 2 Samuel 23 and verse 20.
Verse 20. And Benaiah, the son of Jehodiah, the son of a valiant man of Kabzeel, who had done many acts, he slew 2 lion-like men of Moab. He went down also and slew a lion in the midst of a pit in time of snow.
Stop. I'm going to tell you why this is bad as hell. I'm going to tell you why. Y'all know what it's like to be outside in the cold? Your hands is like, trying to close your hands and stuff. You can't move. You feel like, it's difficult to move around. Your muscles are all stiff. You stiff. This guy went to war with two lion-like men of Moab. It means they were strong, bro. Killed them, and then he was like, I ain't done. I need some more blood on my hands. Oh, there's a lion down there. He went and killed a lion. And all of this in the winter. That's crazy as hell, bro. Nah, we ain't never gonna get out this book, bro. Go ahead, read that.
Verse 21. And he slew an Egyptian, a goodly man. And the Egyptian had a spear in his hand, but he went down to him with a staff.
Wait, what's a staff? It's a stick. The dude had a spear, which means it's thicker because it has to hold a heavy blade at the top. Okay? My man went with a staff, like broomstick. He was like, he was probably sweeping. I was like, what's up? Read on.
And plucked the spear out of the Egyptian's hand and slew him with his own spear.
It's like, yo, give me that, man. You know what the hell you doing? Second. He was nice. That's exactly what's going on. That's exactly what's going on. He was a goodly man. He knew what he was doing with that spear. But this guy was like, psst. Made him look like a kid. Give me that, man. Yeah, you can have it back. Oops. You all right? Damn. He died. Luke chapter 22, verse 36.
The book of Luke, chapter 22 and verse 36. Then said he unto them, but now, he that hath a purse, let him take it, and likewise his scrip. And he that hath no sword, let him sell his garment and buy one.
Stop. What is Christ saying here? All the way in the back. Stand up.
Shalom. Christ is saying here to arm yourself.
Arm yourself. Exactly. Arm yourself. Now we live in New York where we can't have weapons. Alright, so do not go around and arm yourselves. If you live in a state where you cannot have a gun, do not get one illegally. Alright? But the point here is this. Christ. The one you see painted like this. He was telling dudes, yo, I'm about to leave. Because that's what's going on. He's saying, listen, when you was with me, you ain't had no need of anything. You didn't have to worry about purse, script, weapon, nothing. Because I got you. But I'm about to leave. Meaning what? He's going to die. He knew he was about to leave the earth. So he was like, you on your own now. So now you need your purse. You need to get your money up and all of that stuff. And get a sword. Why would you need a sword as a Christian? As a follower of Christ, why would you need a sword? Ain't you just supposed to, if he hit me in the left cheek, I'm going to turn to him the other cheek. This is what, listen, understand something. This is why people are so confused with the Bible. You understand that, right? The Bible contradicts itself. See, in one point, Christ says, if a man slap you, you're supposed to let him slap you on the other side of the face. And then the other side, he say, listen, get a sword. It doesn't make sense. But we know it makes sense. You understand what I'm saying? It makes perfect sense when you think about it. What's the sword for? Well, it was with the wilderness, so there was wild boars running around. You need to protect yourself against the wild boars. I've heard some crazy stuff. I'm telling you stuff I actually heard. It wasn't like major cities. There were forests when you had to travel from one spot to the next. So you needed to have a weapon just in case a wild animal tried to hurt you. You know how you exit that kind of conversation? Wow, you are retarded. Just by. What was the sword for? To protect yourself, right? To defend yourself, right? Do the laws of the land that we live in now allow you to defend yourself? Nah, they do. Of course they do. Yeah, obviously. Well, we know. Thank you. We know that. I'm saying though, if let's say it's black on black crime where Edomites don't give a damn. It's like, oh, they fighting, cool. Let's watch this. And somebody hit you. Are you allowed to defend yourself? It's called self-defense for a reason, right? You allowed to defend yourself. We're gonna come back to that. I wanna get something in Maccabees real quick. Let me get first Maccabees chapter 2 and verse 64. First Maccabees.
First Maccabees chapter 2 and verse 64. Wherefore, ye my sons, be valiant, and show yourselves men in the behalf of the law, for by it ye shall obtain glory.
Stop. Does anybody know who's talking here? Call it out. Mattathias, he's the father of a bunch of sons. This is a good piece of history. Y'all need to read this. All right? Read on.
And behold, I know that your brother Simon is a man of counsel.
So a lot of y'all that have kids, y'all know your kids. You know, this one is more good at this than that one. This one's better at this than that. You know what I'm saying? So he was putting them. He's about to die, so he's like, "Listen, this is what I need y'all to do. Follow my instruction." I read it again. Read 65.
And behold, I know that your brother Simon is a man of counsel. Give ear unto him always.
It says, "Give ear unto him always." He's a man of counsel. He's a wise man. He's a wise man. Read on.
He shall be a father unto you. As for Judas Maccabeus,
that's the youngest one. Go ahead.
He hath been mighty and strong, even from his youth up. Let him be your captain and fight the battle of the people.
Stop. Let him be a captain and fight the battle of the people. So the father was like, listen, the young man, he hood. He gangster. All right? He know how to get down. He going to be a captain. He going to lead your armies. Simon wasn't like, I want to lead the army. You understand what I'm saying? So he set them in array. Simon was the counselor. Judas was the captain. Fast forward. First Maccabees 5:21.
First Maccabees 5:21. Then went Simon into Galilee.
Stop. Read it again.
Then went Simon into Galilee, where he fought many battles with the heathen, so that the heathen were discomfited by him.
Discomforted by him. Okay? Who's fighting the battles right now? Y'all don't know the history of this. Judas dies in a war. You understand what I'm saying? He dies at war. So what does Simon do? There's a bunch of brothers, by the way. It's not just them two. There's a bunch of them. There's Jonathan and a bunch of them. All right. It's the point I'm trying to make here with this piece of history is this. Even though Simon was a counselor and a father that everybody's supposed to listen to, which usually means what? This guy's a nerd, right? He's reading the Bible all the time. He's nerdy. He's wise. He sit there and just like y'all know that one family member that's in the corner like, what are you doing? I'm just thinking about this thing right here. All right, weirdo. We're over here playing Mario Kart. The hell? But that's the dude later on. You're like, yo, how does this thing work? Oh yeah. This is how it go. Right? You're nerdy. So that's what he's saying about Simon. Simon's like more into learning and understanding and all that kinds of stuff. But here you have him in chapter 5 fighting wars. Why? Judas wasn't in the picture, but everybody was fighting wars. The whole nation was warriors. This is what y'all need to understand. Whatever your affinity was towards your life in terms of like what you wanted to work in, pottery. I keep saying pottery because it's stuck in my head. Farming or whatever the case may be, you still had to learn war. Simon was still a warrior. It said he was setting battles up against people and destroying them. Understand? All right. Let's go back to Luke 22 and verse 36.
Luke chapter 22 and verse 36. Then said he unto them, But now, he that hath a purse, let him take it, and likewise his scrip. And he that hath no sword, let him sell his garment and buy one.
Let him sell his garment and buy one. So y'all understand why, y'all can understand from this verse why there's such contradiction in there's a lot of atheists and people who don't believe in the Bible. I don't know, the Bible contradicts itself. Y'all can see it, right? And for those who don't study, to them it makes sense. It's like, no, there's no way this book doesn't make sense, right? Because let's get Matthew 5 and 38. People think, oh, this is incorrect. This is in direct contradiction of each other. What we just read in Luke and Matthew, and what we're about to read in Matthew.
Matthew chapter 5 and verse 38. Ye have heard that it had been said, an eye for an eye, and a tooth for a tooth. But I say unto you, that ye resist not evil, but whosoever shall smite thee on the right cheek, turn to him the other also.
Turn to him the other also. How do we reconcile these two scriptures we just read? How do we make a distinction? How would you explain this to somebody who's saying these two scriptures they contradict each other? Come on, give me one hand. Damn. In the front right here. Don't look around. Yeah, you. Yeah, it's right next to you. You the people.
One is talking about your neighbor, your brethren, and the other one is talking about protect yourself from the heathen, strangers.
Right. But now let me ask you something. Who's your neighbor?
My people. Leviticus 19 and 17, but 18 is the point.
All right, let's read that.
Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 18. Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
Against the children of thy people. You know.
But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord.
Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. The children of thy people is thy neighbor, yes. Brother is your neighbor, your people. But now, you in the train and you step on Tyrone's brand new Air Force Ones, the white ones, high tops, with the little strap on the side. Now he want to fight. What's up now? That's your neighbor. He Judah, just like you. You grew up with him. He don't remember you though, because you got a beard. Now what? Now what? Pass the mic back. Stand up. If he's not in truth, what? Explain.
If it's a brother that's in the truth, you might turn the other cheek because you believe in the law. Most High gonna deal with him. But if
very close to you, bring the mic close to your mouth.
Okay, if he's in the truth,
yeah,
you might turn the other cheek because he follows the law and he's an Israelite like you.
Right.
So Most High would deal with him.
Right.
If he's not an Israelite, I guess you got to deal with him just like you deal with the heathens. It's enemy, so you got to defend yourself.
Exactly. Exactly. You gotta defend yourself. Hey, was the prophets running around slapping and pulling hair off of a heathen? Sometimes. But sometimes it was our people. You understand what I'm saying? We we can't use the Bible to not become weak. Make that excuse to become Christian minded. Soft. There's some dudes in the truth, bro, that was selling crack on a corner. Okay? Obviously, I will not mention the names. But for you to hold down a corner selling crack, you gotta be bad. You gotta be bad and you gotta be crazy. Right? Y'all understand what I'm saying? Some of y'all understand what I'm saying, right? Some of y'all older, y'all understand what I'm saying. You selling drugs on a corner, you can't be no spaghetti looking dude that ain't about nothing. It can't be Twinkie filling. I like that. You can't be soft because somebody's gonna take your corner and your product, right? Okay. But then these same guys coming to the truth. And it's like they get filled with Twinkie filling. God is love. God is peace. God is patient. Read me the love. Love is kind. Come on, man. What the hell happened to you, bro? You understand what I'm saying? You gotta keep that same. You gotta keep that energy. You gotta keep that fire. Because the man we follow was like that. Was he not? He was. Let's get Genesis. John. John 2. You know that's one of my favorite scriptures right here, bro. Huh? Nah. John chapter 2. Start at 13, yeah.
The book of St. John, chapter 2 and verse 13. And the Jews' Passover was at hand, and Jesus went up to Jerusalem, and found in the temple those that sold oxen and sheep and doves, and the chargers of money sitting. And when he had made a scourge of small cords.
I go to the scripture a lot. Yes, I do. So y'all already know. A scourge of small cords. So once again, for like the minute of time, I want to paint the picture. Christ come to the Passover. He walk into the temple and goes, really? I'll be back. Goes about his way, and he sits down to make himself a scourge. That's a whip. The Son of God, after being pissed off by some nonsense, went and sat down and patiently made a whip. Okay? I'll be back. Read on.
And when he had made a scourge of small cords, he drove them all out of the temple.
Stop. This is why it's important to read, not just to read to go right by it. You got to read to understand. It says, when he had made a scourge of small cords, he drove them all out the temple. It's not like a fiction novel, and he was wearing this, and this is how he did it. It just tells you this is what happened. So you got to put it in. You know what I mean? You got to put the context clues in there and picture it in your head of how it went down. He came to the temple, was like, oh yeah, this is what y'all doing in here? I got you. Made a scourge, and then came back and started what?
He drove them all out of the temple, and the sheep, and the oxen, and poured out the changers of money, and overthrew the tables.
Now let's imagine for a second. This is not how it went down, but let's imagine for a second that he didn't hit anybody with this whip. That's still, I was about to curse. You see that? See, I caught myself this time. That's still, what's the word I'm looking for? It is. It just, I have a big vocabulary, but you know, those are like sentence enhancers. I love those things. He was gangster, bro. Even if he didn't, let's imagine for a second that he ain't hit nobody. He still walked in there like, what's up? You trying to move or no? You see this right here? Yeah. You don't want this in your face. That's still mad gangster. That's the only word I can think of. Can y'all give me another word? Because I don't think that's appropriate. Yeah, exactly. He was about his father's business. He wasn't playing no games. Stand up, stand up.
When I read this part, what I think about is like, Christ, he did a lot of miracles, but the scripture said he went and basically he physically made the whip. He didn't just say appear.
Yeah.
That's how angry he was. He was like, no, I'm going to whoop y'all.
Yeah, I'm going to whoop y'all.
He was thinking about it while he was making the whip. He's like, yeah, I'm about to get you. I'm going to flip your table over. So he was like meditating on what he was going to do to them.
Understand that. That's a good point, bro. The scriptures talk about we shall meditate on terrors. When we rule the earth, we're going to get back at these nations. We're going to sit there like, what should we do to them next, man? Just meditate on terror. Right, scriptures say that, by the way. If y'all were reading, maybe y'all would come across it. But anyway, yeah, Christ sat there and made a whip. He could have just been like, up here, slapping people immediately. No, he took his time, like the brother was saying. And I'm going to get this guy, and I'm going to get that guy. You got to lace that thing, the ox too. Everybody caught it. Get the hell out of here. I don't know about y'all. You ever been around an ox? Listen, in Dominican Republic, my grandfather owns animals. A bull is not an animal to play with. It is not. It is not. The things are gigantic. And they are pure muscle, bro. He was like, you going to get the hell out of here. Let me get from there Romans 12 and 18.
Romans chapter 12 and verse 18. If it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men.
Start at verse 17.
Verse 17. Recompense to no man evil for evil. Provide things honest in the sight of all men. If it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men.
Y'all reading that wording though? Can I get any English scholars to break that down for me? I'm talking about verse 18. If it be possible, as much as lies in you, live peaceably with all men. Right here, stand up, please. Break that down for us.
When it says if it be possible with all that life in you, is talking in regards to your patience. As much patience as you got to utilize all of that. As patient as possible.
Right. Okay, anybody else? That's good. Can we get the definition of if? If. Bro.
Right.
If is 2 letters. Humongous meaning. You know, one of my favorite quotes of all time is if. It is. So somebody said some long ass thing to somebody and they was like, if. I'm gonna see if I can find that in a second.
It says, if used to discuss the imagery, results, or effects of something that did not happen or that is or was not true. Used to say that something must happen before another thing can happen. If. Noun.
Okay. So now, 1 second.
Like in the curses, you have one verse says, if you do it, you shall put it above all nations. But verse 15, if you do not. So the word if has a great significance.
If it be possible. Because guess what? Sometimes it's not possible. What the hell? If it be possible. Because sometimes it's not possible. It's just not. You understand what I'm saying? As much as lieth within you, live peaceably with all men. As much as lieth within you. Is there something wrong? Is If somebody's threatening you with violence, is it wrong for you to slap him in his face? No, right? If it be possible. You understand? By a sword, the way the prophets was. I'm trying to think carefully of the words that I use here because I'm influencing a lot of people. But you know what I teach my children? You know what I teach my children? We have a motto in our house. I might get in trouble for this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Violence solves problems. See that? Oh. Violence. Hey, and we're not talking about if somebody is bothering you or pestering you or whatever, you don't know. They put their hands on you, you solve that problem. Violence solves. Teacher, he hit. No. Punch him in the mouth. Then tell the teacher, hey, y'all seen my son? How many of y'all seen my son? Come on, y'all seen my son with the long hair? He real skinny. He don't look like he should be the age that he is because he's so damn skinny. He terrorizing the whole school. Nah, he not. But he don't got no problems in school no more. Some kid was saying that he had long hair. He looked like a girl. He was like, all right, cool. The dude started taking his stuff, punched him one time in the mouth. I had to go into class. Yeah. He I was like, what? My nigga. No more problems. Problems is done. You understand what I'm saying? That's how the prophets was. That's all I'm telling you. Manliness. That's manliness. We can't be in here scared and fearful and all this. Y'all found that? Okay, let me get that. My favorite quote of all time. You know I'm in love with Sparta, right? One second, bear with us. You don't gotta blow it up too big, man. Just put it up there. I'll read it. Uh-oh. I gotta read it. I want them to see it. That quote shows extreme manliness. Question mark on the screen? Wow. It should be green then, not red. Read that again. Where were we?
Romans 12, 18.
Yeah, read it again.
Romans 12, verse 18. If it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men.
Live peaceably with all men. Come on now. Sometimes it's not possible, bro. And y'all can't be. I've heard some. The reason for this class is that I've heard a lot of situations recently where people are like, yeah, and I didn't do nothing. And I'm like, what? So you just let this person do this to you and you ain't do nothing about it? Like, yeah, no, I wasn't sure, I was if the scriptures, I wanted to be in control of my spirit. I'm just like, I'm gonna slap you. Bro, if a bully comes to bully you, right? Which is why I teach my kids violence solves problems. A bully coming to bully you, and you just let him. What are you telling him? You gonna keep doing it. I ain't gonna do nothing to you. You just keep. Now I got a fat lip. Can they see us online though? All right, cool. what was I saying? Yes, it's not a scene. What are you talking about? It's a quote. Oh my God. All right. No, it's not a. It's not. It's a quote. Macedonia. Okay, dudes. The Macedonians was conquering the world. Y'all know who the Macedonians was, right? All right. Father of Alexander. All right. So they sent a message to Sparta. They was like, listen, you are advised to surrender immediately. For if I come into your land, I will raise your cities, steal your women, and kill your people. Sparta's reply was, if. Sparta, bro. Sparta. What? It's like all this huge letter. Tell him I said if. Bring that army, bro. Bring it. Bring it. Yo, bro. Sparta, man. Sparta. If. Just send two letters. Period. Send that. Yeah, if. Oh, snap. It's on. That's how it was, man. Sparta was manly. Let's get from there. Let's get John chapter 18, verse 1. Yeah, we need that. Hold on. Y'all gotta see this. Oh, it is? Let's get both of them. Come on, let's see them. John chapter 18, verse 1. But I want to see this first. Hold on. I got this. Philip sent a message to the Spartans saying, if I invade Laconia, you will be destroyed, never to rise again. The Spartans replied with one word, if. Philip eventually decided to bypass Sparta. As it was a poor region. No, they don't have nothing. Poor region and not worth the fight. Neither Philip nor Alexander attacked Sparta while they ruled. So his pops told his son, yo, don't mess with Sparta, bro. Don't mess with, you want to rule? Okay, don't touch Sparta. Don't. Bro, why would you even send that letter? Now you look like a punk. Yeah. Yeah, listen, y'all gotta, give me all the stuff. You know what I mean? Because, if I come in there, I'm going to destroy you and you ain't going to raise again. If. Oh, nah, chill. Forget it. They ready for war. They're not. Yo, think about it. Think about all the information that's right there. It says neither Philip nor Alexander. Philip told his son. That's what happened right there, bro. Philip was like, yo, not the Spartans. Everybody else, don't go to Sparta. Whew, you got another quote? You say you put another one? After invading Greece and receiving the submission of other key city-states, Philip II of Macedon sent a message to Sparta. If I invade Laconia, same thing. With if. The point is, Sparta met Philip with that same energy, right? And what happened? Philip was like, they saw we destroying everybody, and they still trying to go to war. I'm not trying to do that. I'm going to lose mad people here. Probably even lose this war. So we're going to skip y'all. You understand what I'm saying? But if Sparta would have been like, no, please, whatever, they would have got destroyed. You understand what I'm saying? I'm trying to build up to an example here. Let me get John chapter 18, verse 1. Thank you. That's all.
Book of John chapter 18 and verse 1. When Jesus had spoken these words, he went forth with his disciples over the brook Cedron, where was a garden, into the which he entered and his disciples. And Judas also, which betrayed him, knew the place, for Jesus oft times resorted thither with his disciples. Judas then, having received a band of men and officers from the chief priests and Pharisees, cometh thither with lanterns and torches and weapons. Jesus, therefore, knowing all things that should come upon him, went forth and said unto them, Whom seek ye?
Stop. It says Jesus, knowing what was going to happen, he moved forward and said, Whom seek ye? Read on.
They answered him, Jesus of Nazareth. Jesus said unto them, I am he. And Judas also, which betrayed him, stood with them. As soon then as he said unto them, I am he, they went backward and fell to the ground.
Stop. What's going on here? What's going on here? Let me get a new hand. Nah, man. Those old hands. Put them down. Young man over here in the purple. Hey, Shalom.
Yeah, they froze up.
Froze up? I don't think you heard it properly. Froze up? That's not what occurred.
When Christ had approached them and he said, I am he, I don't think they was expecting that. So
You didn't think? Yeah. Come on, man. All right, pass the mic to this gentleman right here with the... Yeah, stand up.
Yeah, when they asked who Christ was, they jumped back. They was he had like a little army with him.
Who jumped back? They didn't jump back. That's not what happened. Let's read it again. Thank you.
Verse 6.
Start at 5.
Verse 5. They answered him, Jesus of Nazareth. Jesus said unto them, I am he.
So they asking, who's Jesus of Nazareth? He says, I am he. Read on.
And Judas also, which betrayed him, stood with them.
Judas was with them, with the crowd. Go ahead.
As soon then as he said unto them, I am he, they went backward and fell to the ground.
They went backwards and fell to the ground. How? One guy tripped and caused a chain reaction. Oh no, the entire army. Like on some the Three Stooges type thing. No, that's not what happened. You understand what I'm saying? What happened here? What occurred? Come on. We're talking about manliness here. That's what the whole class has been about. I need y'all to understand. Wake up. Right here. Stand up.
Shalom. I think Christ put hands on you.
Wrong. And don't answer a question what I think. Behind you. Press somebody behind you.
The energy that Christ answered them with.
Right. But why? Why?
Because Christ was manly. When he spoke boldly.
He ain't knock anybody else back.
No,
he just knocked these dudes back.
Yeah,
because look, thank you. If Sparta hadn't responded the way that they did, what would have happened? It would have been a straight war. Sparta would have won, but there would have been war. They avoided war by meeting them with that same energy. It tells you later on that they came with torches and staves and stuff, like they was trying to get a murderer or something, or some kind of rapist, like a witch hunt. It says when Christ saw what was going down, he stepped forward and was like, "Who y'all looking for? It's me." Why do you think he had to knock these dudes on their behind? Why? Right here in the front.
Because the disciples walked with swords. They was ready to stand up and fight for Christ.
Exactly. It would have been war. And he had to humble them.
Yeah.
You understand? Another part of the scripture says, "Don't you think that I can call 12 legions of angels right now and end this whole thing right here?" Christ knocked them down so that they could understand. It's not that kind of party. Y'all want me? You have me right here. All right, read on.
Verse 7. Then asked he them again, "Whom seek ye?" And he said, "Jesus of Nazareth." Jesus answered, "I have told you that I am he. If therefore ye seek me, let these go their way."
Stop. It wasn't a request. See, it's written like it's a request. That's not what was going down. That's why he knocked them off. The man just said words to you, and you all fall down. You don't think you think you're gonna stand up with the same posture? They came through like, "Who is Jesus of Nazareth?" Oh shit! You Jesus? Yeah. Can you come with us? Can you come with us, please, sir? You can't stand up the same way, because they understood what was going down. This man was walking around doing miracles. You think they all just fell and didn't know what happened to them? They just got humiliated by one dude. "I am he." Boom. Oh, got up like, should we be doing this right now? He said, "Let these go." Read on. Verse 9.
That the saying might be fulfilled, which he spake, "Of them which thou gavest me, I have lost none."
Right, because it was about to be a battle. But how could it have been a battle, though? Aren't the servants that were walking with Christ unarmed? Wait, what are you talking about? They were armed? What? Read on.
Verse 10. Then Simon Peter, having a sword, drew it, and smote the high priest's servant, and cut off his right ear. The servant's name was Malchus.
So Peter had a sword. He was like, it's on. He drew that thing, cut the dude's ear off. Read on. Swing. Go. 11.
Oh, my fault. Then said Jesus unto Peter, "Put up thy sword into the sheath. The cup which my Father had given me, shall I not drink it?"
So Christ is letting you know, listen, this is how I got to go down, right? Was Peter the only one with a sword? Did Christ go, "Whoa, what the hell"? Where he was hiding that thing at? Or Peter just happened to have that sword that one time? Keep it on him. Get the strap. And he was nice. He cut a dude's ear off. That's precision. You can't do that by mistake. You can't. You can't do that by mistake. Some of y'all looking like a sword, especially in those times, those things was heavy. There's no way you cutting straight. No way. You gotta be nice with it. Now, how many of y'all have held the samurai sword? Y'all feel after you swing that thing a few times, your forearms is on fire. Tell me I'm lying. Exactly. There's no way this blade was razor sharp. Okay? To make that cut, because you tell people, "Oh, it couldn't have been by mistake." They're like, "What? No, but it's a sword. It cuts." No. Let me explain something to you. Y'all try to cut bread with a knife? Yeah, right? Okay. What goes on there? You gotta finesse it, right? You gotta come at it at an angle and all of that. Exactly. If you trying to cut somebody's arm off, okay, you can't just chop. You know why? The bone, the meat, muscle, all of that's going to stop you. You got to come at it at an angle. To cut an ear off, you got to be nice, but you got to come at an angle. You got to come at a correct angle. You got to be fast, and that sword got to be on point. There's no way Peter did not know how to use that sword. You understand what I'm saying? I gave y'all a double negative, but what I'm saying is Peter could throw down. He knew how to use a sword. Peter. Yes, Peter. All right, from there, let's get Luke 22:47. Let's see if it was just Peter.
The book of Luke, chapter 22 and verse 47. And while he yet spake, behold, a multitude, and he that was called Judas, one of the 12, went before them, and drew near unto Jesus to kiss him. But Jesus said unto him, Judas, betrayest thou the Son of Man with a kiss? When they which were about him saw what would follow.
When they which were about him, Christ, saw what would follow, because the dudes came with swords and torches and all kinds of stuff like they was ready for war. Read on.
They said unto him, Lord.
They said unto Christ, Lord.
Shall we smite with the sword?
Shall we what?
Shall we smite with the sword?
What?
Shall we smite with the sword?
Shall we smite with the sword? Damn. Shall we smite with the sword? It wasn't just Peter running around with a sword. And the dudes that was with Christ was ready for war. The guy that was feeding everybody and healing people and love and hugs and kisses. The dudes that was running with him had weapons. You hear what they said? When they saw what was going down, they had to ask him, hey, we going to war right here or no? Shall we smite with the sword? Is this a battle we fighting? How many of y'all read this book? Wow. I bet y'all went right past this. You understand? Read on. Read verse 50.
Verse 50. And one of them smote the servant of the high priest and cut off his right ear. And Jesus answered and said, Suffer ye thus far? And he touched the ear and healed him.
So Christ is letting them know, let it be how it has to be, right? It's not going to turn into a battle. If it had been in any other time, Christ would have been like, let's do it. But it was his time to go. You understand what I'm saying? And the men around him wasn't no punks talking about, what is going on? Oh no, there's swords and staves and there's a lot of people. What shall we do? Run! Run away. No, Jesus. There was nothing we could do. They got him. They was ready for war. And this is in the New Testament. You understand? We ain't supposed to allow the Bible to make us into punks. Soft, emotional, weak. Twinkie Phil. I like that, man. I'm going to use that from now on. Cream filling. Soft on the inside. We're supposed to be men. We're supposed to be manly. Like our leader. Right? I'm trying to see how much I should give you. What time is it? 40. Get all throughout the scriptures, the prophets, the men of Israel have always been trained men, ready to go to war, unafraid. Right? And as you can see now, we read in the New Testament, even in the New Testament, in the time when Christ was walking on the earth as Christ, he was not one to be played with. You couldn't try to punk him. That wasn't how it was going to go down. Not until his time came. Got it?
The book of Joshua, chapter 5 and verse 13.
Joshua 5:13.
Joshua 5, verse 13. And it came to pass, when Joshua was by Jericho, that he lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, there stood a man over against him with his sword drawn in his hand.
Stop. It said there stood a man over against him with his sword drawn in his hand. Joshua looked up and saw this dude with a sword in his hand. Go ahead.
And Joshua went unto him and said unto him,
Stop. And Joshua did what?
And Joshua went unto him and said unto him.
Yo, I gotta say this. Somebody was telling me about how their man, okay, was so responsible, and I'm like, oh, what do you mean? Explain to me. What do you mean he's so responsible? It's like, yeah, you know, whenever we're walking in the street and there's a group of guys, he crosses the street. Oh, damn. 1, 2, 3. 4 heads went down. So y'all understand. See, some of y'all don't. Some of y'all looking like, yeah, you're avoiding trouble. No. You creating trouble. Especially if you're in your own area. Are you not creating trouble, especially if you're in your hood? If you where you live and you're like, oh baby, come on, let's go across the street. There's a bunch of niggas over here. And you just created mad problems. I'm like, your man is a punk. B-A-S. B-A-N. Twinkie. Bro, he's scared. And he just created mad issues for you right now, bro. Mad issues. I'm going to tell you why. Because if you're in an area you don't know, you act like you don't know. You can't act like you don't know the area. It's called making yourself a victim, right? So if you're a white lady in Harlem and you've never been in Harlem before, and as soon as you get to Harlem, you see a few black people, you clutching your purse. Now they want to steal you. Now they want to. They didn't want to. They wasn't even looking at you before, but now you acting scared. Easy target. All I got to do is, hey. Exactly. You just made yourself fool. But if you act like you already know the area, like you from the area, like, yeah, you know, oh, over here, or even like you ain't scared, it lowers the chances of things happening to you. You walking on the street with your girl, and you cross the street because there's 3 dudes on a corner, you a punk. And you scared. And you just created mad problems for yourself. Okay? Huh? Nah, she thought that was the most responsible thing in the world. I'm like, all right. Oh, is it? I started dying. She's like, what are you laughing for? I'm like, no, yeah. Yeah, you know, he's trying to avoid problems. I'm like, okay. All right. You're going to find out some stuff about him eventually. Anyway, give me the rest of that. 13.
Okay.
Joshua.
And Joshua went unto him and said unto him, art thou for us?
Wait. No, start again.
And it came to pass, when Joshua was by Jericho, that he lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, they stood a man over against him with his sword drawn in his hand. And Joshua went unto him.
Stop. And Joshua went unto him. That's this reminded me of that little conversation I had with that lady. You understand what I'm saying? Why? Because most dudes, scared dudes, will see a dude with a sword like, I'm not going over there. He looked like his sword is in his hand. Joshua was like, hey, what's going on over here? What you doing? You all right? You all right? Y'all don't understand you all right. I'm going to give y'all an example. Nah. Never mind. Read on.
And said unto him, art thou for us or for our adversaries?
Art thou for us or for our adversaries? Yes. Who you for? What you over here doing, standing here with a weapon in your hand? Read on.
And he said, nay, but as captain of the host of the Lord am I now come. And Joshua fell on his face to the earth and did worship, and said unto him, what saith my Lord unto his servant?
Stop. You think regular dudes was walking around acting like they was angels back in the day? You think they could get away with that? No. So Joshua obviously noticed something was different about this guy, right? Because you don't just believe I'm the Lord of the hosts. Oh, excuse me, let me fall on my face here. No, he had to already know that there was something different about him, right? You understand what I'm saying? Y'all picturing it? Who is this? It's Christ. The captain of the host is Christ. All right? Read verse 14 again.
Verse 14. And he said, Nay, but as captain of the host of the Lord am I now come. And Joshua fell on his face to the earth and did worship, and said unto him, What saith my Lord unto his servant?
Stop. Our forefathers wasn't even scared to get down with angels, bro. You understand that? How did Jacob get his name? It was like, so what? And what's up? You know what I mean? Joshua knew this dude was an angel from Get. Walked up to him like, what's going on here? You got your sword in your hand? Who you with? You gotta have to show me some things. Go ahead, read on. 15.
And the captain of the Lord's host said unto Joshua, Loose thy shoe from off thy foot, for the place whereon thou standest is holy. And Joshua did so.
That's how you know. The place where thou standest is holy. The angels came through many times and they wasn't like, yo. Fix your shoes and all of this. You know what I mean? This is Christ. All right. So from there, let me get Revelations 21:7.
The book of Revelation, chapter 21 and verse 7. He that overcometh shall inherit all things, and I will be his God, and he shall be my son.
I will be his God, and he shall be my son. He shall be my son. All right, go ahead.
But the fearful and unbelieving and abominable and murderers and whoremongers and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death.
Which is the second death. Now let's see who was awake for the entire class. What do I want from this scripture? Oh man, be the same hands, bro. All the way in the back.
Yeah, shalom.
Verse 8, fearful and unbelieving.
Fearful, you what?
Fearful, exactly. Fearful. Hey, unbelieving, there's sin, sin, right? Abominable, murderers, whoremongers, sorcerers, idolaters, liars. Those are all sins.
So fearful to be scared is a sin?
It's a sin. It is a sin. It is a sin to be scared. You got a precept? Yeah, let me get that. It is a sin. You hear that? Damn. Yeah. Oh, yes, I kept all the commandments. Pan drop. Nah. You are not allowed. Thank you. Goodbye. The hell? Go ahead. Tell them where you at.
Nehemiah 6:13.
Yes.
Nehemiah 6:13. Therefore was he hired, that I should be afraid, and do so, and sin, and that they might have matter for an evil report, and they might reproach me.
Read it again.
Therefore was he hired, that I should be afraid, and do so, and sin.
That I should be afraid and do so and sin. Is there a scripture that says, thou shalt not be afraid? Y'all confused. No, there isn't. But all throughout the history, it should be known to you. You're not supposed to. What's in the front? Hold on. Oh, yeah. Joshua 1 and 9 is good. Hold on. Let me get to Joshua 1 and 9. That rings a bell in the back of my head real quick. Yeah, let's get Joshua chapter 1, start at 8.
Joshua chapter 1 and verse 8. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth.
Hold on, people are still flipping.
Joshua 1 verse 8. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. Have not I commanded thee? Be strong and of a good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed. For the Lord thy God is with thee, whithersoever thou goest.
Neither be thou dismayed. Be not afraid. For the Lord is with thee, whithersoever thou goest. When you're scared, when you're afraid, when you're fearful, do you trust in the Most High? You don't. You don't trust in the Most High. You may say you do. You may keep some of the commandments or whatever. But if you run around the world scared, then you don't trust the Most High. But you know what the scared dudes are gonna say? You know what the scared dudes are gonna say? Tempt ye not the Lord. Because I in the back, pass the mic. Stand up.
Oh, wait for the mic.
Shalom, leadership. Every day I get up, I read the chapter and verse of Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 10. Every day. It's basically at the ending of every class that we have.
Right. Right, because you have to have trust and faith in the Lord. Now, let me explain something to you. The Most High don't care if you die. Y'all understand that, right? Y'all look confused as hell. Everybody confused. Psalms 116 and verse 15. Psalms 116 verse 15.
Psalms 116 verse 15. Precious in the sight of the Lord is the death of his saints.
You understand what is being said here? Death. You know what? Look, you're gonna read a lot of history in the Maccabees and stuff. Where there's a crazy piece of history in the Maccabees where there was this mother who had 7 sons, 7, and they were all murdered right before her eyes. And she wasn't like, no, do what the evil man is saying so that you can live. She was saying, take that death. No, we're not going to read it. We're running out of time. Take that death. Take it willingly. You know why? You know what she said to them? I know the Most High will give you all back to me again. Death is not permanent for us. We understand that. Once we come into the truth, once we come into the Bible, we understand that death is temporary. We're not supposed to fear death. When you read about our ancient civilizations that weren't really keeping the commandments, they didn't fear death. That stayed with them. You understand what I'm saying? We're not supposed to fear death. You understand? Did Joshua fear death when he was walking up to an angel? Your angel will slice you. An angel could stand in the sun. Jacob feared death when he was trying to wrestle with the angel? No. The angel got tired of playing with him and was like, "Pop, oh, now you can't walk." He's like, "Yo, let me go, man. I don't want to hurt you." He says, "Nah." He's like, "You gonna keep playing around? All right, I'm gonna mess up your leg. Angel could do whatever the hell he wants, but you know what? Jacob wasn't scared. He's like, "Nah, get over here, bro. I ain't missing this opportunity to get a blessing from an angel. I don't care if I gotta wrestle with you for 24 hours. You understand what I'm saying? Joshua walked up to the captain of the host. There's no way you didn't know the dude was different. But what do you look like? Think about it. Think about it from Joshua's perspective. You walk in, you see a dude with a sword drawn close to the camp. What the hell does he look like by going like this? Hell no. That's an angel up there with a sword. He look like he ain't trying to talk to nothing. You understand what I'm saying? He was like, "No, if I die, I die. It is what it is. Hey, what you doing over here, man? What's going on?" You understand what I'm saying? Do y'all get it? As much as lies within you, live peaceably with all men. All men live peaceably. If it be possible. If it be possible. Don't run around slapping nobody. Don't look at me. No. That's not what we're saying. We're saying, though, I'm tired of hearing situations like, there was a situation in Tabernacles. Who went to Tabernacles? I hope some of y'all was there. An older child was messing with a younger child. Y'all don't know what I'm talking about. Older child was dissing the younger child, saying he had some you was there? Okay. He had they're not gonna understand what we're saying. Yes, they had lips. They had oral sex lips. Thank you. But male on male kind of oral sex. DSL. Ain't that a shipping company? Look. Older cat was pressing the younger dude because he's like, "I'm older than you. You know what I mean? What you gonna do? This is what it is." You know what I mean? So young cat was like, "Listen, that can't go down. I mean, I'm warning you. You better shut the hell up and stop that nonsense." So older dude's still going, making fun of him. Got everybody laughing. 14-year-old slapped the shit out of this dude, bro. Pow! Oh shit! Everybody was like, "Gunshot!" You ain't never heard somebody get slapped so hard it sound like a damn gunshot. That's what I was told, bro. 18-year-old was like stuck. I hear some brothers saying, "Oh, we gotta talk to the brother. He shouldn't put his hands on." No, don't tell that man nothing. He did the right thing, because we ain't supposed to be playing like that. You understand what I'm saying? We are not supposed to be playing like that. That's not funny. Those are not type of jokes you try to tell to each other. I understand in the world, maybe some of y'all weird ones played like that, but not in here. You understand what I'm saying? Don't tell that young man nothing. He did what he was supposed to do. He handled his business. Hey, violence solves problems. That 18-year-old don't got nothing to say no more. Right? Froze. He checked him. Dude was like, I didn't prepare for this. Like, how do I respond now? Like, I'm not about that life. But I was trying to act like I was. You understand what I'm saying? We ain't supposed to be running around scared. Okay? Things like that must happen. Must. You understand? There ain't nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. That's how it had to go down. What would have happened if you would have went to an older man? Hey, listen, they're saying that I got DSL over here and it's hurting my feelings. Okay, can you go over there and talk to? The scriptures say, gentlemen, that we're supposed to treat each other like brethren, and they'd have been like, yeah, yes, sir, yes. And then as soon as the dude would have turned around and left, what would have happened? It would have continued. But you know what? That one slap solved that entire situation. Pow! Oh, yes, this is the kind of things you get yourself into. You understand? Don't be no scared people up in here, bro. It is a sin to be fearful. It's 11 o'clock. Any questions? In the back, stand up.
Yeah, my one question from earlier, Nehemiah 13:22. How did they cleanse the temple afterwards? It said they cleansed the temple. How did they do that?
Nehemiah what? 13:22? Yeah, I'd have to get back to you on that. I'm not sure. All right. I'll get back to you. Any more questions? All right. So with that, we say shalom.
Shalom.